I'm going to segue into something. I'm going to skip actually one and go into something else, Oliver, just because
Yes.
the comparison what we make is almost like a Christian a backslide. See me,
Wow.
when you see a Rasta, when you see
So,
a
yeah,
Rasta, switch from roots and go into dancehall. So people were talk about Christian a backslide. I don't know if this is a perfect example, right? But
well, we don't know if she backslide yet because she not actually doing a raunchy records. But
right, we don't know, but we hear people are say them thing there. So question again and more feedback. If Lady Star returns to claim her crown as Queen of the Dancehall, how do you see that? How should we take that? How should we even approach that? Is something wrong with that? The fact that she is or has been over the past few years recently.
5 years, yeah?
Yeah, devout Christian and stuff. You know what I mean?
Minister.
A minister in the church, right? And of lately, some mix-up situation and conversation draw her out and kind of make she respond to in a way where people would look at and say, oh, well, this is unlike what a Christian person should do because these judgments get passed.
I didn't even realize she ran in the church in Florida, South Florida, right?
Okay.
I'm wondering if this is a situation, and I'm just speculating, people, if she's struggling for memberships as well in the church. I have people I've known, friends from high school that are ministers. It's not an easy thing. It's like any other business. You have to have a reputation and you have to market. And that's the weird juxtaposition sometimes because as a preacher, people make it seem like you're just supposed to make it happen organically. Yeah. And they will come to you like Jesus Christ, right? But you have to actually put in work. You actually have to talk to people and get people to come to your church, right? I don't know if that's a situation where it's let me spark some interest to let people know that I'm still doing music. Yeah. I'm doing church now. So come and support the church. If she does come back, I'll be the first to say, Lady Sir, but it's not going to be so easy where she's just going to come and pick up back the torch if that's the case. Because you have Jada Kingdom, you have Shensia, and you have Spice, and also other young females. It's a different era. I'm not so sure it's going to be as simple as people might think.
Yeah. So, on the other side of it, what we say, can she come back and retain her crown? Honestly speaking, I just think people already look upon it a certain way. See? When she relinquished her crown, her exit was abrupt. Nobody don't know what happened, or something happened, or did she just come had an epiphany? No one knows, right? So when something like this now, her speaking up and getting drawn out by some mix-up that includes Spice and
Obia.
What do you call a Obia man or witch doctor, whatever you want to call him. Seeing it when this draw out now, it feels like, yo, wait. That mean if something like this can draw you out, that mean people are cast them judgment section. Maybe she never really Christian. She still is the person who she is. Mind you, people just understand this. Christianity may change some, but people are people. People remain the same. You see me? You can't say, for instance, for 30, 40 years of your life, you were a certain type of person and all of a sudden you become a Christian and that means you change. You get to spam me a lead and people always know, okay, yo, you know, say I'm a Christian now, this, that, and the third. You see me? When I ask you this, people, it might sound blasphemy, but Christians have sex Christian no have children and bring people in the kids into the world. Right?
So I'm glad you said that because it brings something to my mind, and I'm thinking to myself, and I say, if you're going to a profession, right, it's going to take you a while to build up to it, right?
Yes.
If you're a musician, it takes you a while. If you're a carpenter, all right, that's a perfect. Jesus was a carpenter, right? Them say. If you're a carpenter, you're not just getting into carpentry from day one and you're building houses and barns, right?
Right.
It takes you a while. Why is it with Christianity, people believe that if you're baptized today, all of a sudden, you've graduated to the highest level of Christianity?
Exactly.
So you made an excellent point. It takes time. And I think a lot of times we in our culture fool ourselves to believe that it's as simple as dipping. Like, think about that act. The act is not just dipping yourself in water by a preacher, you know.
Yeah.
You have to actually do something. And I mean, I'm going to say something here that might be a little controversial. But one thing I realized that I was doing, and it's something I saw in my culture, and I want to see less of it personally, is that we tend to not actually do. We focus more on spiritually things are going to change.
Like
Right. And I'm not saying
let me say it, like the Lord will provide. Them always I said that.
it magically is going to happen. Right. And I'm not saying I don't believe in a higher power. I do. But the do part of it, I think, sometimes misses our culture. And when we look back as youths or other people, we should try to eradicate that from the culture because it delays your progress. The amount of years you spend thinking prayer is the way alone, just to pray, without.
So let me clarify some of that, Oliver. Because what I think you're saying is, yes, the Lord would provide and all these things, I want to say, all these positive things, but sitting back and waiting for things to happen to you, that's not going to change your circumstance. That hasn't changed the situation for our culture. It hasn't changed the situation for our generation. It hasn't changed the situation, if you've noticed, for Black people overall over the years. It hasn't changed it for our ancestors. Our ancestors, the ones that made changes and left their mark, were the ones that actually got up and did something, right?
Correct. They did something.
Notably, maybe throw out one because I always got to throw that one person, Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that.
He never sit down and wait for things get done. He decided that he was going to make something happen, people. Right? And I'm not saying that people don't have the right for believing in whatever they want to believe in, have their own faith or whatever.
And there are obstacles.
Yeah.
But you still have to persevere. But why not use the spiritual and the physical together? Not just one. Not to knock like my grandmother or women like my grandmother or people like my grandparents.
Yeah.
I remember my grandmother used to pray a lot, right? And because of that, I grew up praying, which was good. And I still pray. But I realized what it did was there were times growing up where I thought all I had to do was pray. Yeah. That's what it put into my mind. And I didn't even realize that I wasn't taking action. I didn't realize, Randy.
Yeah.
So, until old, I realized, wait a minute. I take everything out of my own hand. And we give the power to just the atmosphere to fix it. Why would the universe want to do that?
Right. Them have another popular saying what we say in our culture. Good thing comes to those who wait. You believe that?
No. Whoever said that,
People have been saying it over it. You can't tell me say the first time you hear that, Oliver.
No, them say it in a lot of cultures, but definitely it's huge in our culture. Good thing come to those who wait. Says who? Says who?
Who
Because
knowing that term?
I
Are,
could sit here, right?
are,
And the thing is, we're so ingrained. You saying this, Randy, someone will watch this video and say you're blaspheming. That's blasphemous for you to say that. That's wrong. For you to challenge destiny.
it's not challenging destiny. It's not being a procrastinator. Well, how has procrastination ever solved any problems for anyone? Right? Um,
Well,
I use another example before we even go deeper into that. Them say, patient man ride donkey. Really? Patient man ride donkey? They say, think the man I got to sit down on the side and all of a sudden reach on the donkey. He must get up and go on the donkey, brother. He must do take some kind of action. You see me? The donkey,
yeah.
why? What you think? Because the donkey move at a slower pace, impatient. Okay, fine. But when you say things like those, it's like you automatically tell people, say, oh, just wait, man, just take your time and don't be in so much of a rush. While not being in so much of a rush might be a different lesson and a different message for another time. Seeing a whole lot of us, generations of us, have been brainwashed, believing that all you have to do is pray. No, you have to make something happen. The Father give you a brain. Him give you a brain and him give you two hands and him give you 2 foot. That mean
so make us circle it back to Lady Saw, and not her specifically, but the fact that she became a Christian, she have to put some action in it. Not saying she didn't, but there has to be action on her part,
yes.
right? So this idea that she just wake up and turn a Christian overnight, we have to be careful of that. Because she went straight to ministry as far as if my recollection.
Yeah, it felt like that to me.
And I was like,
it was really quick.
Okay, so but based and no, not to look, she's doing good work. Um, I support her in whatever she's doing, but I'm not so certain it will be easy for her to come back. She said though on stage that she's doing a gospel album, I guess along the lines of Stitchy or Papa San, right?
Okay.
What that means, I don't know. Do I want to hear it? I might listen to it because it's Lady Saw.
Yeah.
And because she's brought some attention to herself. But otherwise, I wouldn't just pick it up. And people are gonna say, well, me like the slack dirty tune. No. Lady Saw did a lot of other songs. She didn't only do slack tunes.
So Oliver, explain to me why, if you're built up and live your life a certain way for so many years, decades, you got all of a sudden get up and throw it away and change and be a brand new person. You think that logical? That's not logical to me. And
it is. But she's honest, probably. Or she's not telling the whole picture. That's what I should say.
Exactly.
And she doesn't have to.
See, so for me, you know what this feel like? This feel like, and I've said it from jump, there's unfinished business here. She got up and she exited abruptly. There was not nobody no explanation, but people.
So it was an emotional decision, it feel like then.
It wasn't
fully thought out.
Yes, it feel like
that. Might going through something in her life.
Exactly. And you know how people stay when them don't know what go on, them stay up on the sidelines and observe. We all know our parents do it. They might not know your business. Them stay up on the sideline and them observe and them say, boy, what Oliver do that for? What Randy do that for? Rather than maybe trying to have the conversation, even though sometimes we might not want to have the conversation because none of our family members them chat too much. You see me? But people, the fact is, it's feeling to me like Lisa has unfinished business here, and this is her way of trying to tap back into some of that. Because how can you be such a talented person and it's almost like you want to show your talent behind you? Like God gave you a gift, right? And it's like, yeah, say, yo, oh, me not want to gift you. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you say, yo, no, thank you, me not appreciate it. After it has been sustaining you for so many years. Look at this again. You mentioned that the ministry and church life is hard, right? And I mentioned that it might take some time for things to happen. It's not gonna take a day or so for things roll over, right? So if she was so big in the music world, the dancehall world, why couldn't the transition have been then? Okay, me I gotta use music for connect both sides. That seemed more logical to me. Maybe put out a one, maybe put out a one Christian song from in the beginning then. Or it not for be so deep where people don't want to listen to it.
Instead of just do a complete 180.
Exactly.
Totally ostracize and alienate your fan base.
Right. Because that way you bring people with you too. But this is just me thinking out the box.
Still keep your brand.
Exactly.
Because now she's working on developing a new brand. Because Minister Marion Hall is not Lady Sir.
Yeah, it's not.
That's a new brand. I mean, look, it's her life.
Yeah.
She knows what she wants to do. Her coming back to the music realm, I'm a little skeptical. I want to see Lady Saw be Lady Saw, not partially. I don't know if this is just a playing in the pool, dipping your foot and see where it takes you. Kind of like how Mason hip hop was playing back and forth. I don't want to see that.
Yo, it's not a good look when you make a commitment and then you backslide, brother.
I mean, she's saying she's gonna do Christian music, so we'll see.
Yeah, but you know people's opinion already. The opinion already have flooded the place. Once you go all start mix up, the fact that you got drawn out with your Christian faith, with them I mention your name in conjunction with that Obia man, that does not sit right, bro.
It does seem different than Stitchy and Papa San, because you haven't heard any of this like for them. It's been totally gospel. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we wish her the best. Big up yourself, Lady Star, still. The baddest female DJ will ever touch a microphone. I don't care what nobody wants to say. That's my opinion. I may go hold that opinion. But I don't know. Good luck in our future endeavors. I will probably check out the record them just to see, but we'll see. I get the feeling we'll be talking about this again. There will be something more to this.
Yeah, and just like Oliver, I share those same sentiments. So, blessings and respect, lady sir. Hopefully, if any of this reach your ears, you don't take it as any disrespect. It's just that us as two young people just thinking outside the box.